Is it okay to show frustration at work? Guess what? I've got the answer to that question. You ready to hear it? Let's get it. So maybe you're feeling a little frustrated at work. Maybe you're feeling a lot of frustrated at work. Well, in this video, you're gonna learn, number one, a very important watch out towards expressing that emotion in the workplace, and then 3 tips on how you can not only show, but effectively use the energy of frustration to move your business deliverables forward. You're gonna learn, number 1, how best to acknowledge the emotion. Number 2, how to identify the source of that emotional energy. And then lastly, how best to express that emotion when you're in it, when you're feeling it really deeply. All right, to start, let's just face this thing head on. Is it okay to show frustration at work? Yes, it's absolutely okay to let this emotional energy flow, especially in the workplace. Frustration shows, it signals there's something here that you care about. There's something here that you value. And so expressing that emotion, allowing it to exist, is so important, notably in business. You know, in thinking about frustration at work, I'm reminded of one of the many experiences that I've had going through significant change and disruption when I was working in corporate America. Well, I was going through a really huge acquisition. The company that I had been a part of was being acquired by another company. And shortly after the acquisition closed and I was officially in that new company, I was also given a brand new manager. It had only been about 2 months after I'd been formally a part of the new company. And this manager was hired by this brand new company, right? So they didn't know me. They didn't know my background. They didn't know the values that I came into the workplace with or the company that I had been working for. And not only that, but senior leadership had started cutting headcount, right? They were trying to reduce costs. So it was a very uncertain time for myself and several of my peers. I was a mid-level executive at that time. And during a budget review, this brand new manager at one point during the budget discussion looked at me and he said, "You know, Cassandra, I like you. I want to keep you, but I'm just not seeing a lot of value in having you in my organization in a couple years."
You talking about frustration at work.
Woo! I felt it. I felt it acutely. I felt it going up my spine. My mouth went dry, and I was definitely feeling that frustration, that energy. But what I did was allow it to signal me into a moment of opportunity. If I was feeling that frustrated, I mean, my fist started balling up. I kept it together while he was still in my office. But after he left, I quit what I was doing. I pulled up my resume. I was looking on LinkedIn. Like, I just thought I was about to lose my job, feeling all of that frustration, all that energy. But I allowed that energy to invite me into a moment of opportunity. If I was feeling this way, then clearly I cared. I cared about continuing to deliver value to this business. And so I made the decision that I was going to look for a way to continue delivering that value, just not inside of that organization. So over the next 4 months, fueled by that energy, I ended up creating another role for myself in a different organization, but still in that company, delivering even greater value to the business and also feeling more fulfilled in my work as well. So frustration I see as a gift, as a signal for all of us to welcome us into our greatest moments of opportunity, to learn, to grow, to evolve, to expand. And it's up to us to choose how we do that. So if you're game for that, I've got 3 tips for you to navigate that frustration, that emotion, when you're feeling it at work. So the first tip is simply to acknowledge the existence of the emotion. Don't deny it, don't suppress it, don't ignore it. If you're feeling frustration, let it exist. And this is really about knowing you. Like, how does frustration manifest through your body? For me, it's all about the mouth going dry. My hair will stand up on the back of my neck. I really will ball my fist up. Sometimes my feet start tapping, like I can feel it. Like I feel that physical manifestation. So what is that for you? Recognize what it is, and that can clue you into the fact that you're feeling that emotion. And when it's there, inside yourself, mentally acknowledge it. I'm feeling frustrated in this moment. I recognize it, it's here, and I'm going to allow it to exist. I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not going to suppress it. Frustration is here. Now, what do I do with it? Now, the second tip, or the second step in this whole process, is to identify the source of that emotional energy. I'm feeling this frustration. What's inspiring it? What are the thoughts bringing my awareness into it? For me, when I was in that moment, the thought I kept thinking is my manager could care less about me. I'm about to lose my job. Over and over and over again about losing my job, not being employed, feeling a bit ashamed about, my career being ruined in that very moment. Once you start to understand what the source of that emotional energy is, it can start giving you clues about potential choices you can make to transform that energy into fuel. By the way, if you're getting value out of this, if you yourself have felt frustrated, especially in the workplace, like, subscribe, click the notification. I do videos like this all the time. Emotions and change are kind of my thing. So make sure you click notification. You'll be the first to be notified when a new video drops. Cool? All right, let's get back into it. And lastly, make sure that you're expressing the emotion. Now, the first two steps were really around understanding that and expressing it within yourself. The next step is really expressing it outside of yourself. Now, this is when you can leverage close peers, mentors. In that moment, when I thought I was about to lose my job, it was a barista at my favorite coffee house that I just shared the fact that I was feeling frustration because of what I just heard at work. When we can start expressing the feeling, expressing the fact that it's present in our body, it's the first step in really getting the energy going and actually doing something about that energy. The worst thing you can do is to suppress it and maybe making yourself aware that it's there, but then not taking action to move that energy. And by expressing it out loud outside ourselves, it's really the first way to do that. So that's the third step when you're feeling that moment of frustration in the workplace. So I'll end with this. Remember, if you're feeling frustration at work, it means that you're being signaled into a moment of opportunity. Opportunity for you to grow, for you to evolve, for you to learn something. That can even be learning something about yourself, what you like, what you don't like. If frustration is present, it's signaling you into something that you care about, something that you value. And when you can explore that emotion, allow it to exist, and then express it with those around you, you can find ways to transform it into fuel to move you forward in your business deliverables and in your personal growth. So listen, if you got value out of that message, thinking about frustration and how to deal with the more difficult emotions when you're going through anything at work, but notably change, I got something for you. I actually want to share a chapter out of my best-selling book, Change Enthusiasm: How to Harness the Power of Emotion for Leadership and Success. Specifically, I want to share with you the chapter all about the signal. All about those difficult emotions that we experience when we're going through change in the workplace, or really anything that's super challenging. It's going to give you exercises, worksheets, ways to harness the power of that energy to fuel your growth moving forward. And today, it's yours for free. All you got to do is click the link below. I want to make sure you have the research, the insight, and the data to enable your success and your growth through even your most challenging change. I'm Cassandra Worthy. And until we meet again, keep growing and keep rocking.